Hello. We're going to talk about the foundational aspects of an exciting type of Buddhist meditation known as Vipassana. First, we will discuss what it is and how a person practices it. Next, we're going to talk about the different schools of Buddhism and how they view Vipassana, as well as the great debate in Buddhism about the nature of enlightenment. Then, we're going to discuss practical health reasons to try Vipassana meditation, and round it all out with a comparison between Christian meditation and the ancient Buddhist meditation. So, if you're ready to get started, this is Vipassana 101, hosted by a student of Asian religions at Louisiana State University of Alexandria. You'll see Vipassana written two ways, Vipassana and Vipassana. The difference is in Pali and Sanskrit languages. Pali is the main language of the Pali Canon, which is the main work read by Theravada Buddhists, and many of the mentions in Sanskrit have to do with the Mahayana school of Buddhism. Vipassana is roughly translated as insight. Vipassana is often seen with its partner shamatha, which translates to calm abiding. In the Sutta Pitaka, from the Tripitaka, they are known as a pair. Buddha says they are a swift pair of messengers to guide the practitioners to Nibbana. This tranquility and insight are repeatedly seen as inseparable in the pursuit of self-mastery. These are both related to bhavana, which is Pali for to cause to become or to bring into being. The other related words for meditation are samadhi for concentration and unity of mind, and jhana, which is more meditation. Most of the relation to Vipassana is a reference to jhana in the Pali Canon. Buddha was never quoted as saying go do Vipassana, but rather go do jhana. Vipassana meditation can be divided into two major phases, Anapanasati, which is mindfulness of breathing, and Vipassana Bhavana, where the object is one's physical sensations. There are four main types of mindfulness listed here. Anapanasati establishes all four kinds of mindfulness. In the Samyutta, Anapanasati is said to be of great fruit and benefit. In S. N. Goenka's teachings, he says another reason for developing awareness of respiration is that we wish to experience ultimate reality. Focusing on breathing can help us explore whatever is unknown about ourselves, to bring into consciousness whatever has been unconscious. It acts as a bridge between the conscious and unconscious mind, because the breath functions both consciously and unconsciously. This Anapanasati is a form of right awareness from the Noble Eightfold Path. As well, Bhikkhu Bodhi states in his Noble Eightfold Path from Vipassana.com, right view is the forerunner of the entire path, the guide for all other factors. It enables us to understand our starting point, our destination, and the successive landmarks to pass as practice advances. There are three main schools of Buddhism, but for this discussion we are not focusing as much on the Vajrayana school as much as the Theravada and Mahayana. In Theravada Buddhism, Vipassana realizes the three marks of existence and produces a growing detachment. The three marks are impermanence, suffering, and non-self. Then, as we move to the Mahayana school of Buddhism, in the Yogacara school, Vipassana examines Dharma as the extent of reality and as conforming to reality. In the Madhyamika school of Mahayana thought, the Vipassana encourages realization of the shunyata, emptiness. Also, there existed a great debate in Tibetan Buddhism in the years 792 to 794 Common Era. In the Great Samye debate, there was an Indian representative from the Madhyamika school of Mahayana named Kamalashila, and a Zen Buddhist representative from China named Ha Sheng. The Madhyamika thought was that enlightenment was gradual, existing from intellect gained for many lives, and the Zen Buddhist said instead it was a sudden spontaneous event. The debate took place in front of the Tibetan king and lasted 2 years. The king ruled that enlightenment, or Bodhi, was best represented as a long process, as Kamalashila had presented. This debate is also known as the Council of Lhasa. Kamalashila presented that enlightenment needed extensive mental and moral training. Enlightenment was gained through Vipassana and Shamatha. Ha Sheng argued that knowledge was eliminated upon reaching enlightenment and time is transcended in enlightenment. What do you think? Is enlightenment something that a person can reach quickly, or is it something that takes many years? We can examine the modern ideas of biological and psychological benefits to Vipassana meditation. Firstly, it is important to note that in both Theravada and Mahayana Buddhist traditions, the Buddha demonstrated to his disciples how he had overcome illness and pain with mindful contemplation of the body. Author Lau writes, "There have been cases of healing diseases such as cancer and pain through Vipassana meditation." He goes on to say, "By investigating a recent Vipassana meditation retreat organized for people with depression at a Han Chinese Buddhist monastery, I argue that it may be an active response from the Chinese Buddhist communities towards the recent yearning of individualized self-healing bodily practice. After a 10-day retreat and experiment in holistic physical and psychological health, the group who received Vipassana meditation felt they had significantly improved their physical and psychological well-being." Vipassana has far-reaching applications to the world of psychology and may be therapeutic for a number of reasons. First, it is an abandonment of thought fusion. The act of thought fusion is when a person is connected to their own string of thinking. It is within stepping out of the stream of thoughts and being aware that a practitioner can examine what their mind is ruminating about. Rumination is a key term in psychology when a person chews over the same deprecating and self-harming thoughts in order to find peace of mind. It is well to note that Vipassana meditation causes a person to focus instead on non-judgment rather than the practice of falling deeper into a string of thought. Thought fusion is described more in depth in the practice of relational frame theory and can be discovered in the therapy school of acceptance and commitment therapy popularized by Dr. Stephen C. Hayes. It is a modern therapy method which popularized mindfulness meditation of a variety very similar to Vipassana meditation. Focus is drawn on breathing, much like the Anapanasati, and the practitioner examines the senses related to the feeling of the body, much like in Vipassana Bhavana. Finally, the practice of Vipassana meditation in the East can readily be contrasted to the meditation of Western religions such as Judeo-Christian prayer. Both are called meditation in their respective texts by some definition. The Hebrew words suah as well as haga are often translated as meditation. The word suah is translated as such in Genesis 24:63. He went out to the field one evening to meditate, and as he looked up he saw camels approaching. Nearly all references to meditation occur within the wisdom literature of Psalms. Therefore, meditation is foundational to doctrine and the study of the Torah. Meditation is drawn on the law of God and the concepts of the early Hebraic scripture. While prayer is a communication with God or Jehovah, Vipassana meditation is at its simplest form clearing the mind to gain insight. Although there are many concepts examined in Vipassana, it is more related to simply breathing and gaining the feeling of the senses. Within it there is no communication, but instead an examination of the awareness. It is through awareness that a person can find themselves open to the relation of the world to the experience of enlightenment. Thought is on the impermanent in Buddhist meditation, and thought is on the completely permanent or omnipresent God in Christianity. As well, both Christianity and Buddhism are using their meditation to examine the doctrinal issues of the philosophy of their belief structure. Buddhism is drawn on the Dhamma, and Christianity is on the structural aspects of faiths. Both faiths examine right behavior in the attempt to remove impurities. As with Buddhism, this is done by self-mastery, whereas in Christianity is a reliance on the Spirit of God to help move a person to sainthood and sanctification. Well, we hope you've learned some things today about Vipassana meditation. This was Vipassana 101. Thank you for joining us.